Hi everybody, I'm Lori from Greco Design Company, and I'm here today to share with you how to make a faux floral heart wreath, just like this one here. And it's such a great decoration for springtime, really any time, but perfect for spring. And this is great timing now, since hopefully spring will be here. I live in the Boston area, so it's freezing cold right now, but I know spring will be here. So tell me where you're all tuning in from. Hopefully it is much warmer where you're at, and let's get started. So first of all, we're going to need the following materials. You're going to need a bunch of faux flowers, and if you can see here, I have hydrangeas, roses, and really in a great color palette, pinks and greens. I have some other little, I'm not sure what these flowers are, but they'll work as great filler for your wreath. So just get a bunch of great faux flowers. I suggest you buy some good quality ones because it'll just make the wreath look better. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I use Michael's or Joann Fabrics is a great place. You can use your coupons, and they are great quality, great selection. So you got your faux flowers. We're also going to need glue gun, a bunch of glue sticks, a wire cutter, scissors, an X-Acto blade, pencil, and some copier paper. Just plain 2 pieces of copier paper is perfect. And then the last thing we'll need is a piece of cardboard. Now, as you can see here, I just cut this piece of cardboard off of the side of a box that I was recycling, so that was perfect. If you don't have a cardboard box handy, go down to any grocery store, any liquor store. They are happy to give them away for free, which is great. So once you have all your materials, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our flowers and we're going to cut off the stems. So if you can see, we're going to take our wire cutters. They're the best option. Some of the flowers you don't need wire cutters, but I find these are easiest. So if you can see in here, if you want to get in closer, if you can see in here, you want to cut them as close to the edges as possible because you just want these flowers to be as flat as possible because they're going to be sitting on your cardboard form. So just get them as close as possible. Don't be too fussy, but try not to get them too close that your flower falls apart. So I'm just going to start cutting these flowers and set them into little piles here. So I'm just going to start cutting my roses first. They seem to be the ones that with the wire. And again, just as close as you can. Another thing you can do is cut the leaves off too. The leaves make great filler. So if you want to cut some leaves off and leave those in another pile, that'll turn out to be great filler towards the end of your wreath too. And so I'm using roses and hydrangeas for the most part. What would you guys, Hometalk is really exciting. They're doing a giveaway at the end of the broadcast, and they want to know what kind of flowers you would use for this wreath. So just write in the comments, let me know when you're tuning in what kind of flowers you would use.
So Jessica Lynn said daisies and sunflowers.
Oh, love it. Daisies are my favorite, and I think sunflowers will be perfect for summertime. All right, I'm just going to keep on cutting our flowers. This wreath is going to be going in my daughter's room, and her middle name is Rose, so that's why we love roses. I also think these, you can see some of these can be a little tricky, and you might have to really go back in and cut them a little bit tighter. Easy though, not a big deal. I also think if you want to, this one's going in my daughter's room, but these faux flower wreaths make great decorations for weddings, wedding showers, baby showers. They're really, and you can leave them up all year round. Like Valentine's Day obviously is a great time to use them. So here I'm just going to keep going on these roses.
We've got someone from Florida.
Oh, lucky,
Someone
lucky.
from South Carolina.
Lucky, warm, lucky.
We've got someone from New York.
Oh, nice.
Someone else from California.
Nice. So yeah, just let us know what kind of flowers you would use on this project, and you'll get a Hometalk tote bag that will be announced at the end of the broadcast. It's fun. All right, so I've got almost all of my all of my roses, I should say, cut. And then I'm going to move on to my hydrangeas. Now, one suggestion is for the flowers to get a good variety of sizes for this piece. Some small, some bigger. These ones, which I'm actually not even sure what kind they are, I just love the color. Those will make great filler. So, you know, you want the small ones, you want some bigger ones, and here for the hydrangeas. These are a little trickier. I'm going to use my scissors because hydrangeas are a little, they don't have the wires. But, you know, these, even though it's a big clump of a flower, you can start cutting them off into little sections.
Someone said, where did you get the flowers?
I got mine at Michael's. So Michael's, I'm not sure if they're local to the Northeast, but they seem to be, they have a great selection, and they really have a great high quality flowers. And again, I use my coupon, so I don't spend a lot on these. Right now they seem to be on sale everywhere too, because I think with springtime coming, I think everybody's out buying the flowers. So Michael's, Joanne Fabrics is another place. AC Moore.
We've got someone from Tennessee.
Ooh, nice.
Iowa. Another Florida.
Oh, you guys are all lucky. I bet you don't have a foot of snow like we just got yesterday.
South Africa.
Oh my goodness.
Michigan.
Nice. They might have the snow.
Louisiana. Nebraska. Paris.
Oh my goodness.
Mississippi.
Nice.
Another California.
All right, as you can see now, that's awesome. I'm glad. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you just tuned in, be sure to let us know what type of flowers you would use. Like I said, Hometalk is doing a giveaway at the end of the broadcast for a tote bag. So stay tuned, and we'll announce the winner. But enter your comments on what kind of flowers you would use. So I'm just continuing on. If you can see, I'm starting to make these piles. It just sort of helps me when I have to go grab all my flowers and put them on the form. So I'm just going along here. I love these green hydrangeas. I think they're just, the color's just beautiful. I'll just put those over there. And you don't have to be too fussy. That's what I like about this project. It is very forgiving, which means, you know, you can, nothing has to be too perfect, and I think it'll still look great. Okay. All right.
Someone asked, can you show a quick shot of what you're making?
Yes, definitely.
Because she missed it.
Good question. So this is the faux floral heart wreath. And as you can see, it's filled with the faux flowers. And on the back, I'll be showing you, this is what you need the cardboard for. It's going to be our form, which is so easy, doesn't cost any money, and yeah, and really sturdy and durable. And again, I hang this wreath, this purple wreath, up all year round, but I think these also make great wedding decorations, great shower decorations. I'm hanging one in my daughter's room. They're just so pretty. Valentine's Day, obviously, is a great time for this. And I think you could really do any color palette you want. I think this one is done with the pastels, more the pinks and greens, but I think even an all white floral heart would be so pretty, would make a great wedding decoration. I also think maybe all red flowers would make a great Valentine's decoration. So this is just really easy, just trying to get these, again, you know, they're pretty flat. I'm trying to cut the stems as close as possible so when I glue them on the form, They sit well. And then you can use the leaves. Leaves make great filler. The hydrangea leaves are quite big, so I'm not sure I'm going to go ahead with those. I'll set them aside for now, but I think these leaves that came with the roses are perfect sizes. All right, so I got one more hydrangea to cut off, and then we're going to cut our shape out of your cardboard. Like I said before, the cardboard, just if you're recycling a box, that's perfect. Or you can always go down to just your local grocery store, hardware store.
So Tracy said that you can cut out an initial for your last name, too.
Oh, isn't that funny? Good, smart minds, Tracy. I actually did this with an initial G for my last name. I love it. And I love initials. I think that's a great idea. And you know what? I mean, you can even make an Easter egg shape and just fill the Easter egg with flowers. I mean, this is so versatile. I think it's great. All right, we're almost done cutting our flowers. All right, so I think that's probably good for now. We might have to do a little more cutting later, but this is a good start to get us going. I'm going to cut a couple more actually of the little ones, even though I'm not sure how much of these I'll use, but I'll keep a couple of these. Okay, so now we are going to cut our cardboard form. So once you got your box, if you weren't here, but I just cut the side off of this old computer box that I was actually recycling. So I just cut the side off. And with the utility knife, just be careful, but that's all you really need to do. You're going to use this as your form. So now what we're going to need to do is cut out a heart shape. And I don't know about you guys, but I am terrible drawing a symmetrical heart shape. So I have an idea, a little shortcut that will help. I'm going to take 2 pieces of copier paper. And 2 pieces only because this is a little bit bigger. I need 2 sort of taped together. I'm going to make a little heart shape template, but it's only going to be half of a heart shape template so that we can use this to make a perfectly symmetrical heart. So there I just taped 2 pieces of copier paper together, and I'm going to draw half of a heart shape on here. So I just try to eyeball it. If you want to measure it and make it more exact, that's great. There's my heart shape. Not perfect, it's good, but you know the good thing is that I'm going to use the same exact shape on the other side. So it is going to be a perfectly symmetrical heart shape. So once you make your heart shape template, you're going to cut it out. There you go. And now you're going to just take your pencil and you're going to trace it onto your cardboard form. So I'm just going to mark sort of my little middle mark here and here, just so I know where to line it up. And I'm going to just draw my heart shape. Now I'm going to take the same piece of paper and flip it over. Line it up again with those 2 little dots. And I'm just going to draw it on the other side. And just to give you an idea, my template is probably about, let me guess, it's about 8.5 inches. So we've got a heart that's about 17 inches wide, and it's probably about not quite 14 inches high. So now what we're going to do is, now you can see we have our heart shape here, and we're going to cut it out of the cardboard. The best way to do that, I think, is with an X-Acto blade. You can also use sharp scissors. Either way, cardboard's a little rough, so it's going to be a little, it's going to be rough, but don't worry about it. This project is very forgiving, and we will not, hopefully, see any of the sides on our cardboard. So take your X-Acto, go ahead, cut out your heart form. Just be careful, an X-Acto blade is much less safe than scissors. Okay. And I love the idea of doing this in your initial. I think that's great. Same idea, just sketch your initial right onto here. Trim it out. You want to make sure your X-Acto blade is pretty sharp, but just be very, very careful. So when we're going to glue our flowers right onto this form, we're going to tuck them around the edges so that we really shouldn't see the edges of the cardboard. So you don't have to fuss too much. Okay. Here, got a few little spots. Okay. There we go. All right. Now we got our form for our wreath. So we can just get rid of that box, that cardboard piece. And now we're going to take our old template and we're going to draw a smaller heart on this because we're going to need to cut out the middle of the heart. So we're just going to take our template. Again, if you want to be exact and measure exactly, go for it. I went by about two and a half, maybe 2¼ inches. And I just draw a smaller heart right inside. You know, like I said, if you want to measure, go for it. But this is a very forgiving project.
Georgie said this would be cute with tissue paper flowers, too.
Ooh, very nice. And I've never worked with tissue paper flowers. I love that idea, though. All right, so we got our middle heart shape. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, too. And do the same exact idea as we did for the first heart. And we're going to line it up, take our form, we're going to line it up. I'm just going to draw a line through the middle just to get my little middle mark so I can have them lined up. I'm going to take my template. Yeah, it looks about right. Draw it out. And you can see here, see this edge is not perfect. No big deal. Believe me, the flowers are going to fall over this edge and not even going to see it. I'm going to keep over here, do the same thing. Okay. So now, more cutting. More cutting fun cardboard, which isn't always cooperative. That's all right. Just take your X-Acto. And don't forget anybody to enter for the Hometalk giveaway. They're giving away a Hometalk tote bag, and the winner will be announced at the end of the broadcast. The question for the giveaway is, what type of flowers would you use for this project? So I love the tissue paper idea. I think that's great. We heard sunflowers, daisies. I mean, there's so many options. And then if it was going to be a wedding decoration, you could use the same type of flowers that the bride was going to be carrying. So just enter your comments below on what you would use as your flowers. We're using roses because my daughter's middle name is Rose. So she loves roses. And hydrangeas are always just a favorite of ours. Okay, we're almost done. I don't like to go too fast with the X-Acto because these are such sharp blades. All right. All right, so almost there. We got a couple little edges here.
Megan said that she would use roses because it's also her middle name.
Yeah. Oh, Megan, yes, we love the name Rose. I know I love roses. You can get them in so many different colors that... All right, so there we go. Yay, we got our middle cut out. Throw that away. And again, you know, edges are not always perfect. Cardboard is not the best to cut out of, but it's a form, and we're gonna, like I said, it's forgiving. We're gonna wrap the flowers around it, so don't fuss too much. All right, so I'm gonna clear my little space here, throw out my templates, and now it's to the fun part. We're gonna glue all our beautiful flowers that we cut off the stems, and we're gonna glue them onto our form and just make it look however you like. There's no real right way or wrong way, so it's just however you like. The only things I would suggest is balance. So I like to start with the bigger flowers. So the roses are our biggest flowers, and I'm going to space them out on our form using my glue gun. Make sure we're going here. All right. So this is why it's important just to try to get as far down as possible, and I'm just going to go start to glue. All right, and just put them on down. They can stick up straight if you want. I like them sometimes a little sideways, and just hold it down, get a good, make sure they're on good. All right, and then just space them out. You don't have to be exactly even, but it's just a matter of balance. And again, you want to sort of disperse the colors too. All right. And after you get some going, I love the roses. I'm going to put another one here. And the whole idea too of this is you really want a tight fit. Like you really want these flowers to be really on top of each other, really nestled right in with each other. You don't want to see any of the cardboard in the end. So it's really easy. You know, they'll pretty much dry themselves. Put a couple more over on this side. Have a lot of glue sticks handy. I think you're going to go through a lot of them with this project.
Catherine said poinsettias would be great for Christmas.
That'd be great for Christmas. That'd be so pretty. And you could really do them all red. Yeah, those are beautiful. And the faux poinsettias are just so pretty too. I think a lot of them look really realistic. All right, so I've got sort of like my bigger ones, and I like to always just hold it up and just see how it's looking. Do I have a balance? Is it, you know, starting to be spaced out good? So I'm going to save a couple here, but I also like to take some of the smaller roses and sort of tuck them in too. So I'm just going to go ahead. Maybe I need a couple more over here. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do any of this. It's whatever you like and whatever types of flowers. So this is a great way. See how I'm getting right in there? You know, so it's really covering up those edges and that cardboard. All right, so I'm going to leave a few of the roses off to the side because I think I might need those later once I start to see how it's going. And then I'm going to move on to my hydrangeas. So I think I'm going to start with the green ones just to mix up the colors and just start balancing everything. And again, just go all over and just glue them however you see. And again, folding them over, not, you know, or at least overlapping them over the cardboard. And I think once you cut the hydrangea petals apart and then start putting them on, they just look so pretty.
So Holly asked, are those real flowers?
They are not. This is a faux floral wreath. Don't they look real? That's what I love about it. Michael's, I feel, has the best selection of faux flowers, but that's what I would say for this project. Just do your best to, as you can see, they're fake, but they really do look good, and I think that helps make this project look better. You can see I'm just tucking them in.
Sherry mentioned she would wrap the cardboard in ribbon, but also add the flowers.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You know, that's a great idea. I mean, it definitely adds a little more expense to the project, but and that is a great idea. The ones I've made, you really don't end up seeing the cardboard, which is great. So I guess maybe I would maybe end up using a few more flowers because of that, but I think that's a great idea. I mean, you could even paint the cardboard if you wanted to. Just give it a coat of, you know, light pink or white or green. I'm going to switch over and try to get some of my white hydrangeas. Maybe get some of those in here. Add a little bit of color.
Kimberly wants to know if that's an Elmer's glue gun.
You know, it's not. I was actually going to buy the Elmer's glue gun. This one's all right. This is a new one I bought because my other one was just so overused. But this one, Art Minds. And it's okay. I have to say it definitely sticks a little bit. I was going to get the Elmer's glue gun one. But it was a little more money, and maybe that's why. As you can see, I'm sort of just... I'm going to hold it up and just sort of show you a little bit of glue, all the glue beads coming. But as you can see, it's starting to fill in, and I'm just sort of dispersing the colors. Now I'm adding a little bit of white just to break up all that green and pink.
How many flowers would you buy for this?
You know, that's a good question. I bought about 6 to 8 stems. I've made them before, and I've only used 6 stems. For this project, I have 8 stems here. I'm not sure I'm going to use all of them. So it does depend on, you know, the size of your wreath, obviously, and the type of flowers you use. But I think you really only need about 6 to 8. And my form is about, I think we said it's about 18 by 14. So just to give you an idea, if you're going for a much smaller form, then you obviously won't need as many flowers. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend this Art Minds glue gun. Maybe I should have splurged and got the Elmer's. I'm going to do a few more white ones over in this corner so I can start to see the form, it taking shape. And I'm going to head over in this area. You know, nothing has to be exact. Sometimes a really symmetrically placed flowers is not the best idea, and just to see how they balance out. You can see in here, I'm trying to get in these little, even though you may not, you don't see a lot of the cardboard, you do see little specks of it. So just really shoving these flowers right in those little crevices is a great way to cover that up. I'm going to switch over, maybe do a little more green on this side. We definitely need more greens. And again, like if you want to keep some of the leaves make great filler at the end. So definitely cut off some of the, especially the smaller leaves. The hydrangea leaves seem to be a little big, but if you cut off some of the smaller leaves, those make great filler. Just going along, gluing in, no real rhyme or reason. I do like to see the balance. A few more green over here. Of white up in here, but you'll see I definitely haven't used, probably won't use all of those flowers of the 8 stems that I bought, so just a good gauge.
Can you use dry flowers to make it?
You probably could. I just don't, I haven't worked with dried flowers very much, and they tend to get, you know, very, can be dingy after a while, but yeah, if you've worked with dried flowers, I know some people, they look beautiful. I also think a monochromatic heart would be so nice, so maybe like all reds or all pinks. I think it would be so pretty. And maybe it's different kinds of flowers in the same color tone. These glue sticks are sticking.
Someone asked, can you do this on a regular wreath mold?
Yes, definitely. You know, the foam wreaths, sometimes the glue melts, you know, melts the wreath a little bit, I've found, anytime I've worked with them. But and the foam wreaths tend to be a little expensive. So that's why I think this cardboard is just a great option, a little more inexpensive. Maybe a few more white ones in this corner. Yes, I would definitely not recommend the Art Minds glue gun. I've also seen the cordless glue guns. I've never used those, so I don't know if anybody has any experience with the cordless glue guns. All right, so I think we're almost there. If you can hold it up and just get a gauge of where we're at. If you can see, you know, it's pretty balanced with the colors. We definitely need a lot more in this area, and we need to fill in some empty holes. So we're going to keep going. I left a few of the roses here. I'm going to take some of these smaller roses and use these as good filler.
Katie said she would make the flowers from book pages.
Oh, that's great. That would be such a cool, that would have such a cool effect, I think, with all the different colors. All right. So as you can see, like I just sort of keep, you know, you can see in here, if you're getting close, you can sort of see some little empty spaces. So I'm going to keep going and just fill them in. And that's, you know, that's holding it up, seeing how it's looking, seeing what spaces you need to fill, how the colors are balancing out.
Marcia said she would use seashells.
Seashells, which is, oh, we're such beach people. I think that would be great. Or you could even use flowers and embellish it with the seashells. I think that's a great idea. I wish it was seashell summertime here now. So now moving on, I'm going to fill in some more of the pinks, but I thought there was a lot of pink with the roses. So I started with the greens and the whites, but now a little extra pink highlights. And again, see if you can see in here, if we can get all this, some of my glue, you can just clean that off. But you can see there's some spaces in here that I'm just going to keep filling in, you know, because you just don't want to see the edges of the cardboard. And if you put flowers down and you don't like how it looks, you can always just, you know, quickly take them off, or even just use your X-Acto knife and sort of just cut them off if it just really doesn't look how you expected it to look. Just keep gluing away and keep filling them in. So I think we are almost good. See if there's any little spaces, maybe up in here. We got a good space right in here we got to fill. And that's why I think just looking at it from different angles is really good, really helpful. There we go. Let's see, I see a couple more up here too. What could go there? I think I'm going to put pink in there. Maybe some over here too. It's really good. These don't have to sit perfectly. And sometimes the more they're sort of mushed in there, the more natural they look. Like a whole bunch of flowers are just growing on out of this form. All right, let's see. Maybe a couple more up here. You got to clean up. This is always the fun stuff with glue. We got the strings. Okay, we're going to do a couple more, and then we're going to I think we're going to be good to hang it. All right.
Elizabeth asked, what type of cardboard is that?
You know, so this was a computer box that I had that I was going to throw away. So it was pretty sturdy, and that's the only thing I would say is if you're going to get a cardboard box, just make sure it's a pretty sturdy one. but they are great for, you know, grocery stores always have good ones, liquor stores, hardware stores. You know, they're always willing to give them away. And as long as it's a pretty sturdy box, you can just cut the side off of it.
So we have our giveaway winner.
We have our winner. Good, because we're getting to the end.
It was Tracy, and she was the one that came up with the idea of the letter.
Oh, I love it.
The letters.
Awesome, Tracy. Congratulations. Oh, that's great, and that is a great idea. All right, so I'm going to hold this up and see where we're at. So we're looking good. There might be a few little spots that we could keep going, but I think it's getting in really good shape. You can even see from the side. So you could, you know, like there's a spot in here that we could still fill in, but for the most part, we're trying to cover the edges of our cardboard so you really don't see it is the whole idea. And it's good and sturdy, so now we are going to attach a piece of ribbon onto the back of it to hang it. And again, this is so easy. We're going to keep with our glue gun. We're going to turn it over.
Barb wants to know if when you put it up outside, will it stay?
So I haven't hung one of these up outside. As long as the weather's not awful, I think it's really sturdy. Just to give you an idea, I've had this one. It's hung up inside, but it's been hung up for, gosh, I don't even know how long, forever, over a year, and it really holds up well. So as long as the weather isn't crazy, I think you're good to go. So for hanging, I found that a ribbon is the best way to do it, and we're just going to, honestly, I only need about 2 feet of ribbon, so I have this roll here, but I'm only going to cut about 24 inches. And again, you can have it as long or short as you'd like, because depending on how you want it hung, you could want it hung down really low or really high. So I just cut a piece of pale pink ribbon, and I'm going to go to the back of my form, and I'm just going to measure, or just get approximately, it's not exact, but we're going to come to about the highest point here. I see here, and this is about the highest point here. I'm going to try to measure, and just to be rough, again, this is a ribbon hanging. You can alter it, you can move it a little bit. It's very forgiving, which is great. So we're just going to dab a little bit of glue on each of these. I'm actually going to do a little bit more just to hold it in good. Going to go right ahead and glue our ribbon right onto that. Let that dry. Okay, bring that over to this side.
Len wants to know how much you spent for the...
That's a good question. So I probably spent about $13 on the flowers. And that was really, I'm trying to think, the cardboard was free. I mean, the ribbon I had, if you wanted to go out, because it really just takes a piece of remnant ribbon, which is great, so you really don't have to go buy a whole roll. So a piece of remnant ribbon. So I think $13, I want to say about, you know, give or take, depending on how expensive or inexpensive the flowers are. So there, I'm just going to let it dry a little bit, but that glue really holds well, but it's held up my other wreath forever. So here we go. We're going to hold it up. We're going to see where we're at. Clear off some of the glue. And there we go. We have our heart, faux floral heart wreath. Oh my gosh, I love it. My daughter's going to love this in her room. Such a pretty color, and I can't wait for spring. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And don't forget, please hit like and share. And stay tuned. Also, there's another Hometalk Live tonight at 5 o'clock. So be sure to subscribe too so you don't miss out on any of the future Hometalk Lives. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and enjoy. Thank you.